right? So you come home from Gainesville with your tail between your legs. You have a Nitro funny car license.
Yes.
And you're the heroes of Canadian drag racing to some degree.
To some degree. Yeah.
Your picture's in National Dragster, but not for a good reason.
Yeah.
Because the body went 50 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Talk about the cost of fixing that and then how the schedule sort of came together from that point forward.
Well, the repairs, and I don't remember exactly how much the repair was. I'm going to say it was $20,000, which in today's world isn't much, but in 1993 dollars, that was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. But we updated the car and made it better. I think everybody got enthused when we seen we could do this. And of course we had one of the best crew chiefs, like a Hall of Fame crew chief, for heaven's sakes, with us. Now, and Ken cost us $5,000 to race. And we paid air, flights, motels, everything, plus $5,000. So again, a lot of money. But it was cheap on the overall scheme of things. I think Bill Schultz wanted $10,000. So we had this relationship.
You never really heard apart.
Oh, geez, no, we might have touched 2 or 3 pistons, and the valves sag and this and that, but regular. Oh no, it was wonderful. It was great. So. Anyhow, the car's fixed, and in the meantime, the Environment Canada decides that we are polluting the air too much in motorsports. And we could go in, that's a sour point. So the National Hot Rod Association pulled out of Canada. So all of a sudden, we have no venues in Canada to race and be heroes at, and
try to get sponsors and all.
Yeah, we had. I'm sure that Standard Auto Glass, that the thought was the way they talked to us, they were open to more and more. And now we have no opportunity. They had no interest in the American market because they weren't in the United States. So that was a big kick. That really hurt us. It hurt motorsports in Canada. So we lost that. So we rescheduled, sort of looked at things, and we decided to go to Columbus with the car. And I like Columbus. It's an easy drive. At that time, I think pretty trouble-free. We qualified in what was the quickest Nitro funny car field at the time. We qualified.
And probably 20 plus cars showing up for these fields.
20 plus, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was usually 6 to 10 that went home from the national events that didn't qualify. I don't know exactly where we qualified, but I'm guessing we qualified in the middle of the bottom half, let's say 5:30.
I want to say like 12 or 13.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah. Pretty cool. Really.
I'll find the National Dragster thing and put it in the video.
Oh, okay.
People can see it. Yeah.
Pretty darn good, and a new team still. We're still learning each other and all this stuff. And I think it was, anyhow, fastest field in history at that point. We made the field. Bobby Elliott gets all rainy in the first round. We're running Mark Oswald, and I red light. I just couldn't stop my right foot. And that was pretty sad. I mean, that happens. 8 other guys are going out in the first round for one reason or another. Ours was a red light. I was pretty proud of we won a lot of races with the alcohol stuff on good reaction times. I just couldn't stop it. I was ready to go. And you got, I'll just say something too, the Nitro cars are probably 1,000 RPM, 700 or 800 RPM higher at an idle than an alcohol car was. And it just gets you revved up. I mean, it's shaking and you're revved up. And maybe Buster wasn't quite quick on the trigger, or who knows what it was, but it was go time.
That was also your first time staging in eliminations, when I'm thinking about it, in like 3 years.
Oh, yes,
in an NHRA national event setting for first round.
Well,
so that's got to be on your mind.
Well, thank you.
You know, I was thinking about myself and how I feel about things.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's true too when you think about it, because we didn't stage with anybody in Gainesville. We crashed her on the solo run there, and so anyhow, that was that, and that was tough. And you'll remember the ride home when you looked at me. How old were you? 10?
I would have been 13.
13.
And I just woke up from a nap, I think.
Yeah. My son wakes up from a nap, looks at his dad, and says, "You screwed up." And what could you say to that? You know, anyhow. And that's the way you felt about it. Like we were on a high. Like we were doing well for a new team. And
yeah, I think I recall that that was the quickest and fastest the car went in '93. I think it was at Columbus.
Could have,
and it was 5:31 at 2:77. I think we'll see when.
No, I think Indy. I'm going to call you on that. I think at Indy we went 5:30 at 280.
Okay,
it is what I think. It was our best numbers, but you could be right, Jory. At any rate, that was that, and but we had that was Indy. So we're going to move on to Indy then?
That was Columbus.
That was Columbus, and that sort of closed that, but I think our notoriety increased that we qualified for that. It was a big deal to qualify back then. Like it really and truly was. And there were a lot of hitters on the outside looking in. So we went on to Indy, and we had trouble. And we couldn't get a straight pass. We were burning the tires, smoking the tires every run. Vaney come over.
And you were on a budget, so you weren't planning on running all 5 qualifying.
Oh, jeepers, no.
You were planning on getting in and parking it.
One and done if we could.
Yeah.
That was
based on the Columbus qualifying position. I would have thought, okay, put it in the middle of the field and just call it a day.
Yeah. You guys, 7 or 8, you can park your cars because we're in. Oh my goodness. So run after run, 4 runs in a row, we smoked the tires. And Black Magic guy.
Santucci.
No.
Oh.
The
D.A. Santucci was Black Magic.
Yeah, no, before him.
Okay.
It was, he also had the Fabergé or...
Al Segrini.
Al Segrini. He come over, I'll say maybe after the 4th time we smoked the tires. Now before that, I was schooled, you don't pedal this thing. You abort, and that's it. We don't want any explosions. So I'm going to say on the second run when it smoked the tires, Ken Vini comes over and he says, did you pedal the car on that run? He knows the answer, the son of a gun. Now then we had big long tapes that we looked at for recording tire speeds and pressures and different things.
Just like a big long sheet of toilet paper with graphs.
Yeah, with graphs on it that you interpreted. Did you pedal on that run? I said, no, I didn't. I've been told I can't. Well, he said, let me show you something, Elliot. And he showed me where the car lost traction. I pulled out, the fuel pressure went down, I pulled off the throttle, got back in it went 150 feet, smoked the tires again, I shut it down. And I didn't feel good, I felt good about that because he said the only other guy that I've seen do that well was Frank Hawley when he drove Daryl's top fuel car. Wasn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
But we still weren't at the show. So I think after the fourth aborted run, Al Segrini come over. And he says, would you mind if I talk to you about what's going on there? And he said, what I see is you're backing the car up too fast for your crew. He said, you're listening to that engine at 2,300 RPM, and your whole process in your mind is getting sped up by that. And and I understood that, and I thought about that. I said, geez. So he said,
but you also didn't want to have your foot in the clutch a bunch, because then you'd wear it out, right? Or wreck the air gap.
Well, yeah, so, yeah, that was an interesting thing to take your foot off the clutch. But what I had to do was keep my foot off the clutch, but use the brake and get the car settled down a little bit so that my guys could he said we weren't getting lined up proper in the groove. So he said, you got to slow down, give your guys plenty of time to get you guided back. Holy smokes, if we didn't go out. And I think there again we were qualified 11th or 12th out of what may again have been the quickest field in NHRA.
I'm going to fact check you on that one. It was 15th. And
you think it was 15th?
Yeah, because it was you, Kenji Okazaki.
We bumped him out, right?
Yeah, and I can't remember Jack Wyatt or Gary Densham or somebody else in that bubble.
Yeah.
Around 15, 16, and I'm pretty sure you ended up 15th.
So you're calling me out?
I am. I'll put the National Dragster thing in there so you can see it.
So anyhow, pretty cool. Really cool. Oh my goodness gracious. And we got back to the pits, Jory, after that run. And we were greeted by a line of Canadians that were, yay. I mean, from Thunder Bay and Manitoba, it was unbelievable. They were lined up to say, way to go, and it was really something. And I know we went out, where we were qualified, for sure if we were 15th, like you say, we would have run number 2 then. And, because I think
I think was Freddie Mealy.
By gosh, you're right, then. Too.
Yeah.
The young, what was
Forever Young.
Forever Young.
Yeah.
You're right, I think we did line up. I know we were beside him in qualifying at one point, but anyhow, went out in the first round, and the whole deal, quite honestly, had soured by that point, because somebody showed me there was always a national dragster that came out for Indy. and somebody showed me our Nitro funny car for sale. And I didn't know that John had put it up for sale. I guess it was, I don't want to say too much more than that because it became kind of a bad deal. But I confronted him with that at the time, and he was strapped.
He was done.
He was over his head. Mom and I had mortgage. We met on the side of the 401 around Woodstock, and I signed the papers to remortgage our house. So we were done to go any further, and that was the end of Nitro. But it showed that with the right people, like John and I accomplished so much together. It's just too bad. Donnie Palmer, our clutch guy and great friend who was with us forever, did not want to go Nitro. He knew not the problems, but the pressure that running Nitro. He would have loved to have stayed with alcohol. And we were we were top 4 or 5 in alcohol, as you know, and whatever. But anyhow, that was that. But I'm proud of what we did, and even today, I went into a shop in Huron County, I'm going to say 10 years ago now, but I still run into guys, and I bought a part for my truck from this guy, and as I'm paying the bill, he says, "So what was it like to qualify at Indy?" How many years, 30 years later or something, and I'm proud of it. Even though it was short-lived, very, very proud of it, what we did.